Hello everyone, how are you? Today we are going to talk about the chicken business in Africa, whether you want to invest in chicken for meat or chicken to get eggs and be able to sell. How are you going to excel, or why should you invest in this kind of business? I've talked to a lot of people who are in this business when I visit in Africa. Many times I go to Africa like 3-4 times in a year. So I've talked to people in the field and the people who want to continue to do that. And there are so many things going on, but I'm convinced that it is one of the area where if you invest, you'll be able to get a lot of good profit and maybe change the nature of how you run your business, things of that nature. So welcome to the EBM Scholars, and today we are talking about business. So I created some of the numbers, some of the budgeting, and a lot of numbers here. So some might be realistic, some might not, because sometimes when you do any kind of business, you might have numbers, but when you go to the reality, to the implementation, things might not go as you expect. But this is just like a basic plan, assuming that everything goes like how it's supposed to happen. What kind of investment do you need to do? What kind of profit are you going to get? How are you going to overall invest and succeed in this kind of business? So welcome. Before I go on, I would like to ask you, in case you haven't subscribed yet to this channel, please do so and get this kind of knowledge, and remember to share these kind of videos with other people. So chicken business in Africa, why is becoming a major business in Africa? If you go to the YouTube, you'll find so many people. If you go to just on site to the many places, like everyone is keeping chicken and they are selling chicken. But the problem is why many people don't want to invest in chicken business. Or those who are investing, why do they fail? So if we know why people don't want and why do they fail, then we can see how can we do better in order to excel in the chicken business, whether it is chicken for selling them as meat, or you do just to get eggs and selling eggs. So I will start with the things, first of all, overall, which make people not succeed in this business. After discussing these items, we'll be able to compare how are you going to do better in order to invest and get the maximum profit. And possible, if you want to retire, you can be able to do that. So number one is the biggest obstacle for many people in Africa to do business in the type of chicken is the thinking we have been putting in ourselves. Like if you go to school, if you're educated, you cannot do this kind of business. Any kind of business, majority of people who are doing business are the one who didn't go to higher levels of education or maybe PhD. So not many people who are going to take a risk into doing that. So someone who have been spending over 15 to 20 years in school. So why are you spending all those years? Majority of people are spending all those years with bigger expectation of what we call just getting employed. So once you finish education, so you feel that to get employed is one of the success. Like, okay, you feel proud, like certain kind of status. If you become assistant manager, working at the bank, working at the law office, law firm, working at becoming a public servant. So many people focusing, studying, after completing their studies, is just going to get employment. So they don't think entrepreneurship, they don't think about working into something like chicken is important, because that is for uneducated people. That is a wrong perception, and why many people don't want to invest in that kind of business. Another problem is our childhood upbringing is another obstacle. Many people, we grew up in Africa having chicken around. So you see someone is having maybe 5, 10, 15 chicken. So when someone comes to think about chicken business, is going back to the mindset while he was a child or she was a child, that, oh, that kind of chicken, okay, that it doesn't make any type of profit, because you are going to look about 20 years ago at the time when you had 20 chicken at your house. So it's just like the village life you have, or just like even if it's urban, it was chicken for subsistence. Just you have few chicken at your house. And even if you sold eggs, you were just getting 10, 15 eggs. For me, it is a little bit different situation. Back in 1990s, my father had almost more than 500 to almost nearby sometimes 1,000 chicken. So that is one way how we managed to go to school, because my father, in my family, we are 13 children. So how 13 children can you able to maintain them, give them food, pay for school fees, uniforms, all this, everything, and have the nice house to live? One of the ways it was through chicken. So we had 200, 500 chicken for eggs, and we followed all the principles. That was 1990s. So, but majority of people in the village life, they don't have 500, they don't have 1,000 chicken. Back in the day, we have, most of people they have fewer chicken. So when they talk about chicken, they think about chicken, they think about the rural life, fewer chicken, walking around like what we call free-range chicken. That is the mindset they are having. They don't think chicken is a big farm, a big investment, something you can grow and becoming bigger and bigger. So that is another misconception, and that is another problem by thinking about chicken business and going back to your childhood, and especially the rural life, thinking about 20 chicken instead of thinking about 20,000 chicken. Another problem which many people are having and why they fail in this kind of business is not thinking chicken is business. Chicken is a really investment. Because someone, when is he thinking about, let's say, starting to go to get a loan and opening the big, let's say, construction equipment store, you are thinking about big and you can plan very good things. But people don't think about chicken as a business, chicken as investment. Because we go back, as again I said, about our childhood life, and we just think small. We have to change the mindset that chicken is investment. Chicken is business. Eggs is something where you can invest in becoming a millionaire. Then another thing is we don't use professionals. We don't trust, we don't acknowledge people with a profession in animal keeping, people who have degrees, diplomas, associate degrees, college education, whatever, in agricultural schools. That is another problem. So you have chicken, you just want to open them, they go around there, you don't want to employ someone to become a vet, to check your chicken, to make sure that they have everything they need. For instance, if you are supposed to take maybe the medicine, whatever you are having, it is written, take maybe 5 cups of this medicine, mix with 2 or 50 liters of water. So people just put, like, they told you, like, put 5, you put 4, because you don't want. So we don't trust profession. We don't trust procedures and instructions. What does God end? So the chicken don't get enough medication they're supposed to have. They don't get good vaccination. You don't use someone who went to school for that. In the end, the chicken are going to die. The chicken, someone can steal them. So there are all these things because we don't want to use professionals, people who went to school in agricultural schools, animal keeping schools, so that they can do their job in a very professional way. So we need to use the professionals. Another thing is, another problem we're having, which is the bigger problem, is supervision. Many people, they want to do chicken business, but let's say someone is in Nairobi, but is going to have chicken, let's say, in Meru, in Kenya. How are you going to monitor that? So you end up having someone working there. How much do you pay that person? You pay maybe $20, $50 per month, and you expect someone to be loyal to you. You expect someone to produce whatever you want. So overall is a very poor supervision, and you end up, not if they're eggs, they tell you, oh, they had 10 eggs today instead of 50 eggs, and then you are going to get lost. Or maybe 2 chicken died, but they are going to eat them. Overall, it is a supervision. which is a problem. Again, another part which is another problem is about we don't work into the modern life. Modernization, if you are using, we want to make a chicken as business at this right time, there is a proper modern way on how to keep the chicken. You can use those cages. You can use all those automatic feeders, all those things. You have to invest, use the modern technology. I know it is expensive, but it is more expensive not to use those one than if you use technology and buy direct them from China. For instance, I can give you the example. If you buy the chicken cages, there was who want chicken for eggs, the chicken cage, the cages which one set, which the one which is having 96 chicken can carry those one. Many countries in Africa, that is at least $400 to $500 to buy those one. But and they're not automatic, they're just manual. But if you go to China, you can buy online from Alibaba the same equipment you buy per $100, and they are automatic machine, and they can ship direct to your country. So even if you add the cost of transportation, the tax and everything, is still cheaper than equipment buying in same African countries. So you needed to find what will be the modern way, sophisticated way on how you can use these things. Because if you use the modern way, from everything, you will end up making sure that the chicken are not going to die. The eggs that are there, they're not going to break if you are using chicken for eggs. So everything will be more modern, and you can have fewer people, personnel, staff to work for your plant. So that is something you have to consider, all these things. So I'm going to give some of the numbers here. I said these numbers might not be exactly because there are so many other things have to go. And this one, I'm not including certain costs, like the price of land, the building itself, putting the electrical equipment, putting the water systems, all the things. If you are using chicken for eggs, buying the, I'm not going to talk about buying the cages. I'm not including those one. I'm putting the cost of how to have chicken after building those one, because that is one-time cost, and how you can continue. So chicken for eggs, it's more expensive. The cost of operation, cost to start, because the chicken start to have eggs at the 5th month going to 6, up to 6 months. But chicken for meat is starting after 30 days to 40 days. You will be having enough very good big chicken, whatever you want for meat. So those are the things you have to consider. You can start with the chicken for meat, and then you can move later for eggs if you want to do that. But if you use everything in modern, you'll go to do right. So I'm going to give you some of the numbers here quick, and then you can see if it's worth it to invest. So as I said, I'm excluding those one-time costs of investment. So I put into three phases, but the number one phase is just you start with a small. You start with a 2,500 chicken, and that will be working for the first 6 months, half of the year. So I have the data here. These are official data from the big companies. They have done the chicken for over a long time. They give you the data, how much chicken from week 1, baby chick, one chick, how much is supposed to eat. How many grams, that one, and then you can multiply how many chicken you want to have, and how many things per day, and how much does it cost, every single thing, until you can know for the first 1 month, which is going to 5 to 6 weeks to be able to start selling. So if you put this one, I can copy and paste this one, you can see some of these numbers. So for instance, week 1, the one baby chick is eating 4 grams of feed. And this one I'm talking like, just don't start making on your own. Buy the one which is already made, which is calculated. I know it is cheaper to use your own, to make your own. But if you want to get the perfect result, just buy the feeds which are made by these companies at the beginning to start with. So they put there, week 1, week 2 is 17 grams, week 3, 23 to 25 grams, week 4, 27 to 29 grams, one chick or one chicken will be able to do that. So you multiply with the number of chicken per day, and you can get how many kilograms you want per day, and how many kilograms you want, how much you're going to have that one per day, and how much does it cost per week. You can do that kind of math. So I put these numbers here. you come to the breakdown. For instance, one chick per day is having up to 15 grams of food where they're going to eat. So if you have 2,500 2,500 chicken, that means you are going to have 37,500 grams. And those grams, if you put them into kilograms, they are 37 kilograms, and almost 38 kilograms. And how much does it cost to have that kind of kilogram per day? So you can put, okay, that is how much. So you can put everything, the cost. So if I put the cost breakdown here, the quick one was, for 4 weeks, the cost will be like this way. 22,500 chicken. The cost of purchasing them, because it can be less than $1, many like chicken for meat. So is 1,630. I'm using US dollar. The feeds, the food for 1 month is 730 US dollar. Water, I put like $87, $90. Electricity, like 130 per month US dollar. Vaccination using vet is like almost like 435. Salary, I put for 1 month, you paying someone 348. That is the salary of someone with a degree, average, or someone is close by. Transportation, 218. The total cost of expenses you are using is 3,758. That is the total cost of that one. How much are you going to sell the chicken? Each chicken will be like $2.60 average. So 2,500 chicken. The assumption is not chicken is going to die. No one. I mean, all chicken will be live, whatever, but it might die. So the number is not accurate. So if you sell 2,500 chicken by $2.60, you get 6,500. So you take 6,500 US dollar minus the total operation cost of 3,758, you are going to get profit of 2,742. So the price, this one you might end up not getting like 2,742, you might end up getting 2,000, 1,800. But if you follow the procedure, you'll get at least 2,000. That's my point. That's the profit. So if you do this one, at least this is the salary which you can get. So you don't need it to be leave everything to a shamba boy, someone in the village. You can be working on yourself. You can get more than this one. Even if we say you are getting even 1,000, it is more than many people's salary starting up with. That is the profit. So what you need to do is, after continue that one each month, then you can expand your business, expand the business to the extent that you can have 10,000 chicken. That means each week you are introducing 2,500 chicken. That means each week you will be able to sell 2,500 chicken, because they will be circulating. After 1 month, this group goes. After 1 month, like it will be like each week will be releasing 2,500. So the profit you are going to get over 10,000 per month. If you have 10,000 chicken, each month you are selling for meat. But this is just, it might look like, okay, it's too much, whatever. But in the end, you can get even 5,000 profit. The only thing is you have to supervise yourself. Every single day, you have to be going to your farm. You have to pay well. 400, 500, someone working on your business. It's a profession. Someone has to work. Employ someone with a degree or someone with a diploma, someone with college education in the industry. Don't take a shortcut. Use the proper expenses so someone can be able to work harder. Track every single. If one chick is having a certain kind of disease, track, separate, do everything in a professional way. I guarantee you are going to do that. Remember, chicken is the biggest food in Africa. Every single day in the big cities, people eat eggs. People eat chicken, like meat is just everywhere. Is the business will be there forever. So trust me, start now doing this one. You are going for 2020, do chicken business. Invest. Don't do this WhatsApp, Live, Facebook. I'm having chicken. No, go in the village and do your own thing on your own. Forget about your education. You can invest your life into real agriculture, real animal keeping. That's what I can simply say to you. So let me end up here. Don't talk too much, but invest. I'm going to invest myself. That's why I'm telling you, so that you can all be winners. You can all succeed. Within the next 3 years, I'll definitely have my 10,000 chicken. So thank you everyone. I would like to share this news with you. All the best everyone.